All right, today we're going to zoom way into the microscopic world to understand a fundamental story that's written in every single one of our cells. It's the story of mitosis versus meiosis. These are the two essential blueprints that life uses to copy, to repair, and to create. Let's get right into it. I mean, think about it. It all boils down to this, right? How do you get from just one single cell to the trillions that make up a person? And then how does the blueprint for that person get passed along to the next generation? Well, the answer lies in two incredibly elegant, but very different strategies for cell division. So here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with mitosis, which you can think of as life's reliable photocopier. Then we'll get into meiosis, the great genetic shuffler. We'll uncover the secret to diversity, put the two head to head, and finally get to the big question. Why does this tiny drama inside our cells matter so much to our lives? And this diagram, well, it pretty much lays out the whole story for us. Over on the left, you've got this simple, straightforward path of mitosis, which is all about making identical copies. And on the right, you see the more complex, two-step journey of meiosis, which is designed to create genetic variety. Two totally different paths leading to two very different outcomes. Okay, let's kick things off with mitosis. The easiest way to think about it, it is the body's master photocopier. This is the process that built you from a single fertilized egg, and it's the exact same process that heals a cut on your finger. It's all about growth and repair. The key thing to remember about mitosis is that it's all about making exact duplicates. This happens in what we call our somatic or body cells. You know, pretty much everything from your skin to your liver. The goal is super simple. Just make more of the exact same thing to build and maintain the body. So let's walk through it. You start with one parent cell. This is what we call a diploid cell, or 2N for short. All that means is it has the full, complete set of chromosomes. This cell goes through just one single round of division. And that's it. A nice, clean, straightforward split. And what's the end result? Two new daughter cells. And I mean, they are perfect clones of the original parent cell, each with that same complete diploid set of chromosomes. It's a process that is built for one thing: consistency. All right, now let's switch gears and talk about meiosis. So if mitosis is the copy machine, meiosis is kind of like the genetic slot machine. Its job isn't to make clones. Its job is to shuffle the genetic deck and create brand new combinations every single time. See, meiosis has one very specific purpose: sexual reproduction. It only happens in specialized cells to create gametes. We're talking about sperm and egg cells. And right away, a huge difference to notice is that this isn't a one-step deal. It's a two-stage process. If we look back at that diagram, you can see meiosis is a bit of a longer journey. The parent cell divides once in what's called meiosis I, and then those two cells immediately turn around and divide again in meiosis II. It's a double division. So what's the final payout from this genetic slot machine? 4 new cells. But here's the twist. They only have half the number of chromosomes. We call that haploid, or N. And more importantly, every single one of them is genetically unique. So, how does meiosis pull this off? How does it create all this amazing variety? Well, this is where things get really interesting. It uses a secret weapon, a special event that mitosis just doesn't have, and it literally shuffles our genetic code. It's all thanks to something called crossing over. During that first meiotic division, pairs of chromosomes line up next to each other, they get cozy, and they literally swap pieces of their genetic code. They trade segments, creating brand new, unique combinations of genes that have never existed before. It's incredible. And that right there, that's why you and your siblings aren't identical clones, even though you share the same parents. Thanks to crossing over, every single sperm and every single egg is a totally unique genetic lottery ticket. This process is the true engine of diversity in life. Okay, so we've met our two main players. Now let's put them side by side and make the differences totally crystal clear. This table really lays it all out. Let's break it down. Where does it happen? Mitosis is in your body cells. Meiosis is only in reproductive cells. What's the purpose? Growth for mitosis, reproduction for meiosis. Number of divisions? 1 versus 2. And the final result? 2 identical cells for mitosis versus 4 unique cells for meiosis. And it all leads to the biggest difference of all. Mitosis gives you no genetic variation, while meiosis is specifically designed to create it. Okay, this is all fascinating stuff, right? But what's the big deal? Why does any of this matter outside of a biology class? Well, it matters because these two processes are absolutely central to our health, our survival, and the future of our species. It turns out that life as we know it depends on this perfect balancing act. We need the copier, mitosis, to build and maintain our bodies, and we need the shuffler, meiosis, to make sure our species can adapt and evolve. And when that balance gets thrown off, the consequences can be profound. And this right here shows you what happens when things go wrong. When the copier, mitosis, loses its brakes and just keeps going, you get unregulated cell growth. This is the very basis of cancer. Cells just dividing over and over, forming tumors. It shows you that having this process regulated isn't just important, it's a matter of life and death. And on the flip side, meiosis is literally the foundation of our future. That genetic shuffling isn't just for fun, it's what gives the species the variety it needs to survive in a world that's always changing. But just like with mitosis, it has to be precise. When errors happen here, it can lead to genetic disorders. So if there's one thing to really take away from all this, it's this. Mitosis is for continuity, for keeping the individual stable. Meiosis is for diversity, for powering the adaptation of the species. Life doesn't just need one or the other, it absolutely requires both to thrive. And that kind of leaves us with a big question to think about. Is life better defined by its ability to faithfully copy itself, to maintain stability day in and day out? Or is it defined by its incredible ability to constantly shuffle the deck, creating endless new possibilities? It's a fascinating question, and the really beautiful answer is that life, in its genius, figured out how to do both. Thanks for tuning in.